And then turning our attention to the defense, that's certainly been a topic of debate in regards to the health of the defense and how good is the defense and how good is it going to be when it comes back to full strength, which it's about as close as it's been the entire season, coming off a pretty good effort against a Pitt team that is not certainly a dominant offense by any stretch of the imagination, but they did come off a 47-point performance against a Virginia Tech. How did you feel about the Tigers on defense Saturday?
I like the way the defense is playing. I said at the beginning of the year that I thought the secondary was going to end up being one of the strengths of the defense. It took a little longer to get there than I thought it would, but on Saturday against Pitt, they showed why I thought that, and they did it without Landon Zanders a starting safety and without Darian Kendrick starting cornerback. That secondary played lights out against Pitt. If they can keep that up, this is going to be a hard defense to score a lot of points on going down the stretch. But yeah, I really like the way the defense is playing. The front four, I would match it up against most in the country when Tyler Davis is healthy. They're really good up front, and now with James Skowski back in the middle at the middle linebacker, that makes them even better. I mean, they're just a different defense with those guys on the field, and it showed Saturday.
Baylon Spector leading the team with 49 tackles, 3.5 sacks as the number one tackler on the Clemson defense. The Tigers, of course, with one loss, looking forward to Blacksburg and Virginia Tech on the 5th. That's Saturday night. And then, of course, an ACC Championship game appearance, we would think, unless we see the upset of the year on Saturday night. But Tigers and Notre Dame. We'll get an early preview from you, just a quick blurb on Notre Dame and how that game could possibly play out differently. Of course, 3 starters coming back on defense. Trevor Lawrence is a good place to start. But just, I got to think, my thought, Jason, is that this team, and not just this specific 2020 Clemson team, but what Dabo Swinney has built there in regards to mindset, approach, culture, is all about playing at your best, championship or bust. You know, we play elite football and the bar is extremely high. And to have a little bit of that taken away from them by Notre Dame, and then the thought of possibly losing 2 games to Notre Dame and having the ACC taken away from them, I got to think that the motivation is going to be just sky high to pay back a team that beat them for the first time in forever in a regular season game.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with that. And I think that's a lot about the way Dabo Swinney was so emotional, or whatever you want to call it, last week in his meetings with the press about the Florida State cancellation. He got all that negative attention placed on him, and sometimes I think that's by design. You know, he can take that and turn it into that disrespect card that he knows how to play so well, put that chip on that shoulder that just has been missing from them throughout the first part of the season. But as far as the Notre Dame game goes, I think that's going to be a great football game with both teams at full strength. I think this is a different Notre Dame team this year than what we've seen in years past. I think that's going to be like a heavyweight fight. A lot of Clemson fans think Clemson would just go blow their doors off fully healthy. I don't see that. I think that's a good Notre Dame team on the lines of scrimmage, and that's where you need to be good at to win national titles. I don't know if they're good enough to win a national title, but they've got the players along the line of scrimmage to win one.
Yeah, they lost a couple key offensive linemen, unfortunately, up front, and had to take on North Carolina without them, and they'll be gone for the season. But, I just think that Ian Book's gone from being good quarterback, capable quarterback, top 20 quarterback, to he's just flipped a switch and gained so much confidence. And I think the whole team, you know, some teams win big games like that, and then they get full of themselves, and then they kick back. That seems to have infused this team to say, we're really that good, and then they're going out there and backing it up. And for them to hold North Carolina to 3 points after the first quarter the other day is certainly saying something. One of the most prolific offenses in college football. All right, you can catch Jason Priester's work on allclemson.com. It's the Clemson site on SI. Jason, we appreciate you always stopping by, laying down the knowledge on Clemson football.
Anytime, man. Appreciate you having me.